Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to put the bearings in the hubs. As you can tell, I've already done it. Um, Here's this side. So, do yourself a favor. When you do get your bearings, put them in the freezer for a couple of days. And what that does, it shrinks them. And some people put the hubs in an oven, and that will expand, and the bearings should just drop right in. I don't do it that way. What I do is I just leave the bearing at room temperature. The hub. The bearing's been in the freezer for a couple of days. Put it on here, and I line it up nicely, and I give it a good whack with a rubber mallet. Just right on top of it. Good whack. And then, what I do to make sure it's seated properly, I take a socket that fits right on here in the center. And the socket size that I use, that seems to work, is a 14 metric. Put it right here. Take your rubber mallet and give it a good whack. And that will seat your bearing properly. So that's the same thing for both sides. And for this one here, you got to remember that this is the back hub, by the way. The bearing seats down deeper, so you can see here. Not too sure if you'll be able to tell from the side. Right there, see, seats in really deep, so you gotta make sure you get it all the way down. And again, what I do is I line it up really good, give it a good whack with a rubber mallet, sits in there. Then I take my 14 mil socket right there in the middle and tap it in. Same thing for the inside. Not too sure if I'd mentioned it on another video, but these bearings, I don't know, here in Canada, they're expensive. $20 a piece. Can you imagine? $80. That's quite a bit of money for wheel bearings. So I ordered them online from China, of all places, and I found out what type of bearing it is, put it on eBay, did a search for that type of bearing, and I wanted both sides sealed. Why not, right? And I got a hit, and I was able to pick up all four for $13 Canadian, free shipping. So it took 3 weeks. Who cares? I had other things to do on the bike anyway. So I got them. Good bearings. You know, they're rated for a speed that this bike will never attain. So, and they're sealed on both sides, so they're protected. So they won't be affected by water, mud, or whatnot. And yeah, that's it. So it's up to you guys. If you want to buy them right from the dealership or from from a bearing shop in your hometown, go for it if you can get a good price. But here in British Columbia, I wasn't able to, so I ordered them online. Okay, I'm going to put the rims back together. So here's my halves. I'm going to do this tire first. So I always leave a little bit of air in the tube. It just makes it a little easier to put in. It doesn't seem to kink up or twist up as much. So just put it inside the tire like this. Next step, take your rim, your half, the other half, and just set it on the table like this, and set your tire on top. Make sure you line up your stem here with the hole that's already into the rim, right? So mine right here, I'm just going to pull mine through. There you go. So on the other side, this is what it should look like, right? Right here. So that's the half right here. Set it back down. Take a look at your tube to make sure it's not being pinched anywhere. Get it in there nice. If you need to, put a little bit of air in it. I put some air in mine. There you go. So you see, nice and tight. You know it's looking good, and that the tube is not being pinched. The next step is just take the other rim half, and then push her in. Line up the bolt holes, right? So you've got the bigger ones right here and the smaller ones. The smaller ones are the ones you want to be concerned with. Well, all of them actually, but just line up the small ones. The big ones will line up automatically, of course. But the big ones are for the hubs, right? There's 4, and you got the small ones all the way around. Okay, next step now is I take a little bit of air out now for the other half, and I go around on the inside here. I just kind of push the tube down. I want to make sure that when I put this together like this, I'm not pinching the tube, right, between the two rims. There we go. Here's a wheel right here that's got everything on it all put together. All I gotta do next now is put air in it, and I've already checked the tubes. I'm sure you guys know how to do that, but anyway, put some air in the tube and then spray some water on it. Make sure that it's got no leaks. That's what I did. So anyway, everything's done. The only thing left now is to put the hub, and the bearings are in the hub, and I'll work on the other tire. And just a little shop thing. These baggies right here. This little sandwich bags thing. And what I've done is that every time I took a bolt, doesn't matter where, or if it's only one or a whole bunch, what I would do is I put it in the baggie and I would label it. For example, this one here, I labeled it rear rim. So I knew this was for the half rims, right? And then this one I labeled it rear hub. So I know they're for the hubs. So that way you're not hunting around for bolts and washers and nuts and whatnot. Because if you're like me, working on these bikes, you'll work on them for a little while and put it away and not even touch it for a few weeks, and by that time you've forgotten what goes where. So best to label everything. Completed wheel, hubs on and everything. Not that hard, pretty simple. The other tire, and goes on the same way, no different. There you go. Any questions, you can send me the question on my YouTube account.